Good morning, girly pop. I just had to call you girly pop because I saw you say on
Thank
Twitter
you.
that you just needed
Yes,
someone to refer to you as girly pop. So Danny
I
and I are here to do it.
thank you. You are my hero for the day. Yes, thank
Well,
you.
you are our hero, and this second season of Hush, Danny and I just watched the first two episodes. It's giving drama, it's giving thespian, it's giving us
Oh,
everything we could ever want in a scripted series from Candiace
thank
Dillard.
you.
What was it like doing season two, and how does it feel to finally be able to talk about it and promote this project with the
Oh,
strike mess being done with?
it feels like there's a weight that's been lifted off of all of us, I think, because for a while we wrapped right before the strike. And for a while we were sort of, teeth chattering, afraid that the strike would not be lifted in time for us to talk about this amazing season. So thank God. And I have to give all flowers to SAG-AFTRA and WGA for getting it done. So thank you to everyone that did that hard work to get it done so that we can talk about this salacious, dramatic season two, and Selena doing all of her, I'm calling her a sleuthy gangster this season.
Ooh, I
I
like
think
that.
that's
Yeah,
appropriate.
she very apropos. She is, I love this character because she's the villain that everyone thinks I am in my real life.
That I
If
like
you
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it feel because you get to kind of go all into that lane playing her? Do you feel like it's almost like therapeutic that you're like, okay, everybody thinks I'm doing all of these tricks. Let me
Yes.
do them here.
I let me like it's like I take the notes. Everyone says I'm X, Y, and Z, all of these crazy things. And I literally channel them into Selena. And I love her too because she's very layered. And I don't even think that we've seen like the center of Selena yet. The writing on this show is so good, and it does such a good job of creating these characters that have onions that need to be peeled back every season. So I feel like you see a little bit more of her sisterly side, her the side of her that loves her husband and wants to be a wife, but then you also get the side of her that's like, I will shoot you and kill you because you effed up my operation. So don't mess with me.
And I love you talking about the writers too, because there are a lot of moments, even just in the first episode of season two, where I feel there's so many like organic Candiace moments or things I would just picture you doing. And like, even like at the end when here, then you sit down. And
Yep.
I was like, with that, do you improv at all, or is it just you kind of in communication with the writers and they just like know you and know how to like make it feel a very organic character?
That line was improv. But the other thing that I love about this show and the cast is that our chemistry is so real and it's good. Erica Mena, who plays Gina, is our characters are homegirls, but we were also homegirls on the set. So like playing off of each other was really easy to do. And like that line, she's like, we're kind of like, we're kind of similarly I call it an around the way girl. We kind of have around the way girl vibes. Whereas Karen Ward Ross, her character is like very much a mom and like, I don't know anything about this and I'm just trying to save my family. So Gina and I get to play off of each other in that way. And we kind of we do a good job, I think, of like improving in a way that I think is authentic to the Gina and the Selena of it all. And they're street smart in a way, in a lot of ways, more so than Karen's character.
Where do you and Selena have the most overlap, would you say? Like,
Ooh, I mean, I think I have there's an inner G in me. Like it doesn't come out in my real life as often. But I think just how layered we both are and the courage and the bravery and just the alpha female in
mm.
both of us, I think is runs parallel for sure.
If you could pull one of your co-stars from Hush onto Potomac?
Ooh.
Who would you choose?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, quite a few of them are actors this season. So
It'd be like a cast full of actresses. Okay, so
take your pick.
wait, okay, so who has been giving the most Emmy-worthy performance this season on Potomac, would you say, since you work with a lot of actresses?
I just, it's a lot of, I wouldn't call it good Broadway, just
Oh.
Broadway and moo-moos. So you think about that. Yeah.
We are
The Razzie Award goes to. I'm picturing also the standing up moment that we also
To quote, to non-verbally quote Wendy Osefo.
yeah. Wendy has been giving us some meme-worthy reactions
Oh my God.
this season. But I feel like, okay, so Candice, I'm glad that we're talking to you right now because the Wendy of it all currently on the Real Housewives of Potomac, it has the fans feeling a little divided. How are you feeling? Because you are so close with Wendy, but we do see on the show that you have extended grace to NECA, and NECA recently told Page Six that you two are currently in a good place. So how do you navigate that?
It's really, really challenging. Oh, excuse me. I have to fold a triangle. My nose is running. Just give me.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
This
God, we
is
get
so
to watch a
iconic.
triangle happen. This is a
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is not just for the duct, it is also for the nose. Just
Oh,
excuse
look
me.
at that.
Ooh.
Wow.
Right
Okay.
in. It's good for any small orifice. Okay.
Okay. Good to
Pardon me.
know.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
taking
The,
notes.
the weather here is just, it's terrible. It's a mess. Okay, excuse me. No, it's a really challenging place to be in when I have like one of my dearest friends in this circle, Wendy, and a woman that I don't know very well, but who seems, off the bat to be someone who could be lovely. But it's hard to see that and to kind of get to the meat of NECA when, she's come in really strong against my homegirl. So it's a weird place to be in. This season, I've just really kind of gone with my gut, which I always try to do. And, my gut told me to check on her when we were in Austin after that big blow up. And just for your information, that was the longest. We were probably sitting there for like over an hour listening to them. It was like a tennis match, listening to them argue about who said what when. They actually like got on the phone with their respective fighters and they were arguing. So it was a lot. So, and, I could tell that they were both upset.
yeah.
But because I don't really know NECA that well, I did just want to say, hey, girl, like, are you good? Like, are you okay? Because that was a lot going on. But it's weird. It's a weird place to be in. And I don't know what my next, like, I don't know how to move. I'm just kind of going with my gut.
I also
I feel like no, I was just gonna say, I feel like it really said a lot about your character to step in and check in on her, even though she was going against your very good friend. I was like, that is the empathy that Erica Jane needs. Like, if anyone can teach Erica Jane empathy, it is you, Candice.
Listen, Erica is my girl, and yeah, she's had her moments,
Yeah.
but haven't we all?
we all have, yes, and now she's having fun this season. I'm loving Erica this season.
It is good to see her kind of like letting go, like relaxing her jaw, relaxing and just like living in the moment. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, I feel it's also hard. You can understand, of course, Wendy, where she's coming from, not just because you guys are good friends, but also where it's like, oh, now people are talking about her mom. And I'm like, oh, well, now she has to defend not just herself and her character, bring after her mom, because it brings you back to, it's like, why are you messing? Like, you don't mess with someone's husband or their mom or the kids. And you're like, okay, Wendy, it seems like they're passing a baton to you that they're trying to like go crazy with. And I feel that's also a harder thing where I would assume if Wendy's like, you guys can come for me left and right, but now I have to get more activated and bring up more receipts and go all in because of that.
Yeah, it's painful to see Miss Susan be like embroiled in this mess because our moms didn't sign up for this. Like they're ready. Like one thing I could say about Miss Susan and Mama Dot, they stay on ready. Okay, where do you think their offspring got it from? Hello. But it really, I hate to see that. It's like moms are the salt of the earth. They are precious and they should be off limits. They should be. So I don't like that at all. Yeah.
One thing that I do love about the Real Housewives of Potomac is the editors. It's almost like the editors are another housewife, like they are holding their champagne glass. And so when this whole situation between Wendy and Nneka was being litigated on screen, they showed the baby was it a baby shower or a baby christening, or it was some
it was Cameron Sip and See.
the sip and see. So then we saw that Lebe was there and acknowledged, and it just sort of added a bit more context to the argument and the situation. What was your reaction to the Lebe of it all and her having that relationship with Wendy prior?
It's confusing. Like when I was asked about it in the chair, I didn't even remember it. I don't remember that even happening. And then they cut to my mom holding up her phone, doing I was like, what, where was I when this was happening? It's all very confusing to me. I think I don't even remember meeting Lebe until this season. So I don't even know that I was there during that moment. But it all seems like a big misunderstanding. And I'm truly just waiting to get to the reunion. Like I want you all to see season 8, but I'm ready for the reunion because I just want to get there so that we can hash it all out. I have a few choice words for a few actors who are not being paid as I am to act on Hush season 2. Shout out to Octet Productions and All Black TV for those roles. I think maybe we can get Octet to hire some of these girls and just to give them a role as an extra, just to get their feet wet. Because I'm ready for the reunion to get it over with and maybe cast them on my show, my scripted show.
I feel that's because now I feel like the curtains pulled up, all the past performances people are doing. You guys, like you and Wendy, you're no longer like, no, we're not. We know everything going on now. So just be honest, or what are we doing here, kind of thing. And I feel that's also and I feel that's a hard situation to be in while doing a reality show, because you're kind of like, well, what can we do if just like X, Y, and Z situation? Like how can we perform and do what we're doing and have a conversation if we're just talking to walls?
Yes. No, exactly. It has become like talking to a wall. And you sort of see me throughout the season go through like the stages of grief as I'm like letting go of a friendship and recognizing that I am talking to a wall that is committed to misunderstanding. And then eventually, by the end of the season, I'm just like, middle fingers up and over it. Yeah.
It has been nice to see in this current arc of episodes, you and Robyn figuring out if you want to be friends or not. Like when you're together, you want to put on the slippers and you want to hang out, eat sweet and do your thing. But then I'm sure it's tough given everything that you guys went through before cameras went up. So when you're talking about a wall and putting the middle finger up, are you talking about Robyn?
I'm talking about a few girls that you will see the cranking of the finger as the season progresses. You will see that. Oh, and by the way, I do want to just bring to everyone's attention that I only went to Robyn's room because I was invited. Okay. She made a point to say everyone is invited. And let's just understand here. If everyone was friends, there would be no need to say everyone is invited. She made a point to say you're all invited, because she knew that some of us were not in a good place. If she did not want us all in her room, she didn't need to say that. So then cut to like the next day when she's sitting with her master, part 2 of the Broke Girls podcast. And she's like, I don't even know why she would come to my room. Well, because you opened your mouth and you invited me. And then we're in the room and I'm still trying to, make nice and be friendly. And my feet were hurting. So I literally I didn't know those were her slippers. I said, whose slippers are these? You hear me say that?
Okay, so we're getting tons of clarity right now, Candiace.
Yes. Yeah. I want everybody. I need the neighborhood talk and the shame. I need all the blogs. Hey y'all. I'll see you in the comments. I need everyone to put on their thinking caps. Okay. Their thinking wigs, whatever you put on. And just let's really like look at this. If she didn't want me to put on her slippers, she could have said no. But she said yes. We had a great time in that room. We were all a little tipsy. We had a great time in that room. And I think it needs to be pointed out, and I've seen it be pointed out already, but we've been saying this for years, that Miss Robyn is a different person when she is away from the other half of the Broke Girls. And I just wish that we could acknowledge that and like, let's maybe sit on somebody's couch and break down why you feel the need to be 2 different people around this. Like, is she paying your bills? Like, what is she doing for you that you feel like you have to be 2 different people? Because it is 2 different people. And I hope that you all see that. And that the girl in that room is a homegirl. The girl in front of Next is me and a different person.
And I feel that's even brought to light too in the cars. I mean, I'm sure Ashley did her astrological thing to have a little mess, but yes. Of course, it's Ashley. But okay. You were able to see, like, when Robyn was getting really emotional and kind of crying for the first time. I feel we've seen her like breaking,
not point. Ever, but very rarely.
Yeah. And like to saying what everything was building up and letting out, and you just turn it like wanting to help and everything. I was like, yes. Oh, this is like, this could be what is bringing them together. This could be the thing. Like Candiace is showing that, like, no, I'm here for you. We both were saying some things, but I'm ready to like be there for you.
Yes, always have been. And, that felt like a miniature breakthrough in the moment. And then I'm always crying, as you know. So like, and I'm a sympathetic crier. So it's like, oh my God, my friend is crying. Oh, now I'm crying. We don't have any tissue. What are we going to do? It was a mess. And like, I reached over to like, like take her hand and she swatted me away. It was like all very dramatic, but it felt real. I think. I also don't know, because this is someone who's never really shown this kind of emotion. And in these moments that feel like desperation, like, is she really crying, or is she auditioning for a role on Hush season 3?
Oh, I mean, again, I feel like it said a lot about your character, Candiace, to offer empathy and support in that moment, because it seems like what ultimately broke her, if it wasn't an acting performance, what ultimately broke her was lots of questioning about the state of her marriage and discussion of her husband. And you had been at the center of that shitstorm, and totally unwarranted last season. Here, it seems like there's like a little bit more evidence and facts behind the questioning that the group has for her. I mean, I don't even know what my question is for you. It's just like, how is, like, do you sometimes just want to like shake her and be like, girl, like, this is like what I had happening, that wasn't real, but like, this is real. Like, let's figure this out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've kind of been just waiting on the side for her to be comfortable and or ready to talk about it. I've always supported her from afar. I've always supported her decision to stay with her husband. I mean, I have a lot of girlfriends that are in weird situationships, relationships, and marriages with men who, from my purview, it's maybe questionable, but it's not my place to decide what's right for you in your marriage. When they got engaged again, I was over the moon for them, knowing that there have always been rumors and, questions around fidelity. That's always been a thing, but she clearly loves him. I think that, as a Black woman with Black boys, there's always this thing in the back of our minds as mothers to be of, it's important that I keep my family together. It's important that, especially as a Black woman raising Black men, that my sons see a nuclear familial environment around them, because it does aid in their success as they go out into the world. I think that is also in the back of her mind. I understand that point of view, and it never rattled me or bothered me that she wanted to stay with him. That was never my issue. I support her staying with her man. Like, as long as he's not putting his hands on you, or, putting you in precarious situations, cool. My issue was you went behind a paywall to sell your drama when Bravo pays you more than me to talk about your stuff on this show. And you watched me be reamed by the other half of the broke girls for lying on my husband when you had real drama to talk about.
Okay, well, the bombshell there is that you need a raise simply for your reads and your confessional.
Your birthday gift tomorrow is a raise. Yeah.
Yeah, we are sending this to Bravo right now, because that is not cool that you are getting paid less than anyone on that cast.
Listen, there's, I came in after them, so
okay.
It's understandable. But yeah, but if you're going to be making more than me, earn your keep, sis. Let's all earn our keep. And it's a slap in all of our faces, and it's a slap in the face of our employer for you to sell your story for $4.99 when you are paid copious dollars to talk about what's happening with you on the show. And you sat and watched your friend talk about my husband and lie on my husband when you had this real drama going on in your life.
And
then they sit together to talk for free about lies about you and your husband, where the woman came out to say, I lied for attention, which you and Chris were kind of just said like that from the start. Let's not feel like this is a lie.
I'm not feeding it to them. Yeah.
They wasted no time having their
just eating it up, sopping it up with a biscuit, which was also hurtful coming from Robyn, that she seemed to really take pleasure in these rumors when we were all just gasping at the Canadian woman who, talking about what it feels like the Twilight Zone, because to me it's black and white. And for her, I don't know what's going on in her mind. I'm not sure.
Does the continuous vindication for you, though, feel a little bit delicious? It must.
It doesn't. None of it feels good. Like, none of it feels good. Is it nice to be vindicated? I guess, but at the end of the day, I don't like that this was someone who I considered a big sister, and we have fallen apart. Like, that to me is that's the loss, and the loss is greater than the vindication for me.
Yeah. Now, Danny and I, of course, are big Vanderpump Rules fans, and we know that you are too. And we were watching the trailer yesterday, and Danny made a really good point that we must get your take on, because at the end of the trailer, we see Lala. I don't know if she's flexing a little bit of envy at the end of the trailer, but she's like, I've never seen someone be cheated on and turn into God. I've never experienced that. But of course, Ariana, she has been exalted to this just insane status after the whole scandal. Danny was like, what if Robyn just kind of had given in and admitted to the rumors? She too could have had an Ariana trajectory. What do you?
For sure. Absolutely. I think for sure the fans and definitely the women would have rallied around her. I'm also a ride or die girlfriend where it's like, okay, whose tires are we slashing tonight? listen, I have my rat tail coat. We can go and do what we have to do. I would have supported her, and I know that these girls would have rallied around her as a whole. And yeah, she could have had her glow up and been, because Robyn is very smart, and she was in PR, so she has like a creative mind where she's able to like turn things into lemonade when she's given lemons. So it's like, yeah, it could have been a completely different library, not even like the same book, but a different library. We would have been down the street in a totally different zip code talking about this. But you know, she made her bed, child, down to the Cambria Hotel, and now she's laying in it.
This is
There is
also
a
why
part of
everybody
me
needs
though.
Sagittarius friends, because the ride or diness is very much that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. All my Sag friends, I appreciate so much because they will, if like your enemy is their enemy and
Yes.
I just, oh, I
Oh my
love
God. Like it's funny because I'm getting ready for my birthday party.
Yes, tomorrow. Your birthday's
My
tomorrow.
birthday's
Happy early
tomorrow.
birthday.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. One of my best friends has a friend that I became friends with, because it's like, okay, if you love them, I love them. And then they fell out, but they kind of got back together, but kind of fell out. And I was like, okay, as I'm checking off the names on my list to send out for my party, I text her, I'm like, are we still cool with so-and-so? And she's like, no. I said, okay, great. Glad I know. And I unchecked her name, and she's not coming to the party because if you beefing, I'm beefing, and we're beefing. That's
I
how.
love it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love that. Candice, it is always such a joy to catch up with you. I could talk to you for hours. By the way, Fine Wine, the music video treatment.
Yes.
Beautiful, gorgeous.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite videos now. Like, I think Insecure is one of my favorite visuals. Is It Enough is one of my favorites, and Fine Wine is now up there too. Just because it feels like a year a year in review, or like 2 years in review of, because it's only been, crazy enough, 2.5 years since I really got started as an official music artist. And to see everything that I've been able to accomplish, all of the streams, all of the touring, all of the shows, sold out shows, running out of merch and having to replenish merch multiple times. Just like seeing the love online and in the street, in the gym, people walking up to me singing the song. It just feels like such a moment of gratitude. And then especially as I'm getting ready to celebrate my 37th year of life. Oh my God. It feels so amazing to just look over everything I've accomplished. And that's what what the visual became. We weren't sure what the visual was going to be. And that just felt right to do. And, even as I'm thinking about this second season of Hush, and that I've actually filmed that while filming Potomac, which is 0 stars. Do not recommend shooting a scripted show and an unscripted show at the same time. It's not fun. But again, shout out to Octet Productions, because they really worked with me around my Potomac schedule. It feels wild that I am an actual official actor and singer, and that I'm doing all of these things that I said I wanted to do, and they're happening. So when I watch Fine Wine, it really is like a wave of gratitude over me for everything that I've been able to do. And I'm not done. There's more coming in 2024.
Yes. And also,
Oh no, I mean, I feel like there's so much more coming for you. And I just did a quick Google of your name right before we hopped on Zoom, because I always like to just see what's popping, what's going on. And there was a think piece that I came across that said, could Candice be the Cardi B of Potomac? And I kind of feel like that could very well be for you, Candice. Is that the master plan?
You'll have to wait and see, darling.
Oh, okay. Well, what is next on the music front in 2024? Because I'm shaking my boots.
Yeah. So Nye, my manager, who everybody knows now, Nye recently posted on like an Insta story a screenshot of a Dropbox folder that had, I think it was 4 or 5 songs. They were all crossed out, so you can't see the names of the songs, but music is done-ish. I recorded, I don't know when I did this, because like, again, shooting Potomac, shooting Hush, shooting other scripted projects, touring, and in between there somewhere, I was flying to LA, recording music. So it's shaping up to be an EP. It's so good. It's like, it's definitely an elevation of my sound. I'm working with amazing producers, amazing co-writers, amazing composers, just like people that have worked with everyone under the sun that you know, like her, SZA, Beyonce, everybody, Beyonce, everyone has come in and like sprinkled some seasoning on this new project. So I don't have any information yet on like release dates. I'm probably going to record a few more songs because I just want to have some options, but it's there and it's like delicious. It's
Wait,
so
that
good.
is so exciting. And is there an album that's like, to tease people, is there an album that's out from one of maybe the artists that you named or not that it could kind of remind them of? Or is there an album you're like, I'm channeling this, oh, I'm gonna make the Candiace version of?
I won't compare it to another artist, but I will give it a name.
Ooh.
This isn't the title of the album, but the theme of this project is chaos.
Okay. We love a
Candiace
little
meets
chaos.
chaos. I love it.
It is me really saying everything that I'm kind of on my Beyonce, because Beyonce doesn't really talk, and then you listen to the lyrics and it's like, ooh, what? And that they did well. He said,
Okay, well, Danny and I are getting out
girl.
our magnifying glasses for 2024, and we are going to be decoding whatever this project is. Candiace, we cannot wait for it. And we just appreciate you so much. Congrats on Hush season 2. Happy birthday. Congrats on being a pop star. One of our favorite
You're doing
housewives.
everything.
Just so much
And
to
like,
celebrate.
And like, you do it all with a smile, but it's a lot all at once. So I always commend you. I'm like, I don't know, your Google Calendar would freak me out if I looked at it.
oh
So
my
I'm
God,
just,
I wish I could show you. It's like an amalgamation of colors. Too many colors, too much color. It's insane, but it's all great, all blessings. Yes, thank you. Yes, Hush season 2 is out now on All Black. Episode 2 will be streaming tomorrow or Thursday, the 14th. Yes.
okay, so that's how we're celebrating your birthday.
Yes, we are.
All right, bye, Candiace. Thank you so
Candiace.
much.
Thank you all. Good to see you both.